Here are all of the weirdest celebrity children names right in one spot. Here are some celebrity children with weird-ass names, because when you have money, you can do whatever you want. Leading the pack, we have Nicole Kidman and Keith Urban's daughter, Sunday. Yes, they named her after a day of the week. The day of the week that is made for getting drunk at brunch, or the day that you have an anxiety attack about Monday. Her sister's name is Faith, so where did we mess this up? Next up, we have Diplo's kids, Locket and Laser. Sir, we know you use lasers a lot in your set, but let's not name our kid after them. Locket isn't great either, but it's much better than Laser. Next up, we have Busy Phillips's daughters. You might know her from White Chicks. She named her kids Birdie and Cricket. A birdie is the object that you try to hit as hard as you can in badminton, and a cricket is an annoying bug that we all want to step on. Busy, you did this for what? At number 2, we have Alec Baldwin's daughter, Ireland. I know you hate her, but you didn't have to name her after a whole-ass country. And taking the top spot is Gwyneth Paltrow and her daughter, Apple. What the fuck? Celebrity children with weird-ass names, part 2, because when you have money, you can pay for your child's therapy. Leading the pack, we have an obvious one, Kim and Kanye's kids, North and Chicago. They literally give you books on what to name your children, and you chose a whole-ass direction and a whole-ass state. I would have settled for 2 names starting with the letter K. Next up, we have Reese Witherspoon's son, Tennessee. First question, why? Reese, I love you, but this was not it. Yeehaw, I guess. In at number 3, we have Jamie Oliver's kids. All of them have weird-ass names, but I am stuck on 2. Poppy Honey and Petal Blossom Rainbow? Like, why are we still letting adults name children? I hope these kids are getting homeschooled. Next, I'm so sorry about the left picture. Next, we have Michael Jackson's son, Blanket. Apparently, it's just a nickname, but why Blanket? We could have gone with anything else, like your actual name. And last up, we have Elon Musk's kid, Morse code, XAEA12. Did we just give a toddler a computer and name him? Celebrity children with weird-ass names, part 3, because when you have money, no one cares what your name is. Leading the pack, we have Beyonce and Jay-Z's kids, Blue, Rumi, and Sir. They're the royal family of music. Did we expect anything less? I like the name Blue, but I'm not gonna name my kid after a color. Rumi and Sir? What fucking baby book did you use? Next up, we have Adam Levine's daughter, Dusty. Imagine having your wife rip her vahooter open to birth this beautiful baby, and you look at it and name it Dusty. Then we have Jason Lee's kid, Pilot Inspector. This boy is in my prayers. Like, why the fuck? Next up, we have Liam Payne's son, Bear. I like the name Bear, but just because we like a name doesn't mean it's not fucking weird. Sir, that is an animal. And last up, we have Penn Jillette's daughter, Moxie Crime Fighter. This girl has to put Crime Fighter on all her legal documents. Dear God. Celebrity children with weird-ass names, part 4, because when you have money, everybody wants to be your friend regardless of your name. Leading the pack, we have the Ace family and their son, Steel. That baby is so fucking adorable, why couldn't we have given him a decent name? You could have just named him Steven. Next up, we have Rob and Black China's daughter, Dream. First of all, who lied to Black China and told her those bangs looked good? As for Dream, she is so adorable, but I genuinely don't know why this was the name that was chosen. I feel like Rob looked at Black China and was like, I had a dream last night. And Black China said, that's it, that's the name. Next up, we have Uma Thurman's daughter, Rosalind Arusha Arkadina Adeline Florence Thurman Bassoon. Okay, Mary Poppins should have just named her Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. Then we have Cardi B and Offset's daughter, Culture. At least she's adorable, and thank the Lord they didn't name her Eow. And taking the top spot, we have Frank Zappa's children, Moon Unit, Dweezil, and Diva Muffin? What the fuck? Celebrity children with weird-ass names, part 5, because when you have money, you can sue your parents for your childhood trauma. Leading the pack, we have Nick Cannon and Mariah Carey's son, Moroccan. You guys. They named this kid after the Moroccan-inspired furniture in Mariah Carey's apartment. You were named after a couch. Next up, we have Kylie Jenner and Travis Scott's daughter, Stormi. She is adorable, but that name. A name used to describe terrible weather. If Kylie has twins, she's gonna name them Rise and Shine. Then we have the children from the LeBrant family, Posey and Zealand. Rosie Posey. If you wanted to be dramatic, you might as well just name the kid New Zealand. This is what happens when you grow up on YouTube. Then we have Ed Sheeran's daughter, Lyra Antarctica. Ed, I was rooting for you. We were all rooting for you. How dare you? Antarctica? The ice caps are melting. How dare you? And lastly, we have the Norris Nuts, Saber, Saki, Biggie, Disco, and Charm. Somebody better tell them before I do. Celebrity children with weird-ass names because, as always, when you have money, you can do whatever you want. Leading the pack, we have a 2-for-1 special, Tony Braxton's sons, Diesel and Denim? You heard me. Diesel like the gas, Denim like the jeans. Who the fuck looked Tony in the eyes and said, oh my god, yeah, those are beautiful names? Whoever they are belongs in fucking jail. Returning to the list for another heinous name crime is Jamie Oliver with his son, River Rocket Blue Dallas. A mouthful and a clusterfuck in one. The kid is adorable, but we could have just went with River. Rocket Blue Dallas, what the fuck is the point? Then we have Bear Grylls' son, Huckleberry. I would say I'm not surprised because he's a whack job, but he named his other son Jesse. Where did we go wrong? Next up we have Gwen Stefani's son, Zuma Nesta Rock. Like the song goes, if I was a rich girl, I would name my kid whatever the fuck I want. And lastly, WWE superstar Brie Bella's son, Buddy Dessert. Were we hungry? Celebrity children with weird-ass names because when you have money, any name is a unique name. Leading the pack, we have Iggy Azalea's son, Onyx. First of all, I want to achieve the level of fame that Iggy has that she can walk her kid around wearing this. Second off, you named your child after a Pokemon. Like, this is all I can think about. Returning to the series, we have WWE superstars Daniel Bryan and Brie Bella's daughter, Birdie Joe. She is adorable, but Birdie Joe? Sounds like she's about to go churn butter or tend to the cattle. Like, why not Bridget? Also returning to the series from the people that brought you Huckleberry, we have Bear Grylls' other son, Marmaduke. Baby, that's a dog's name. Look at his face. Marmaduke is mortified. I don't even know if that's Marmaduke. Next up from the YouTube family Familia Diamond, we have Tsunami. You mean a tidal wave that kills hundreds of thousands of people? Right, classic YouTubers. Lastly, we have Ron Weasley's daughter, Rupert Grint's daughter, Wednesday. Happy hump day. What the f? Celebrity children with weird-ass names because, as always, when you have money, no one cares what your name is. Leading the pack, we have Sierra and Russell Wilson's son, Win. Yes, like victory. I have no idea where it came from, but if I had to guess, they were probably listening to DJ Khaled's All I Do Is Win. Next up, we have Kate Winslet's son, Bear Blaze. Listen, my face would look like that too if my mom gave me that fucking name. Why are we referring to our kids as a very large, puffy animal? I don't understand. Blaze? Like, this boy looks like he's gonna set a blaze to your house. Then we have Kristen Bell and Dax Shepard's daughter, Delta. Listen, I love this family, but they named one daughter Lincoln and the other Delta. Where the fuck did we go wrong? What was the thought process? Then we have Norman Reedus from Walking Dead's son, Mingus. That's it, I have nothing to say. No need to elaborate. And lastly, we have a 2-for-1 special, Lucky Smith's kids, Gravity Blue and Rumble Honey. No. Celebrity children with unique names because why fit in when you were born to stand out? Leading the pack, we have Cameron Diaz and Benji Madden's daughter, Radix. There are literally no pictures of Radix on the internet, not sure why. I bet she's adorable, but when I hear her name, my mind automatically goes to Radish. Then we have Tyra Banks and her son, York. No one opens the door for a native New Yorker. This kid is adorable. Such a wholesome moment, but of course Tyra still has to smize. I like the name York, but would I name my kid York? Probably not. In the spirit of Christmas, I have to include Michael Bublé's daughter, Vida. If you didn't know, Vida means life in Spanish, which is his wife's native language. She is adorable. I just can't stop thinking about how when they call her name, they're literally saying, come here, life. Katy Perry and Orlando Bloom named their daughter Daisy Dove, Double D Bloom. I kinda like it. I'm glad it's not Daisy Dukes. And lastly, we have Robert Rodriguez and his kids, Rocket Rebel, Racer Rogue, and Rhiannon. R5. Celebrity children with unique names because when you're born an original, your parents have to make sure you do not die a copy. Returning to the list, we have Nick Cannon and his newborn son, Golden Cannon. Bombs away, but make it classy. Golden isn't so bad when he could have named him Silver, Bronze, or worse, Participation. Then we have one of my least favorite actors, Nicolas Cage and his son, Kal-El Cage. Kal-El. It makes me think of Yeehaw. Like, why not just Cal Cage? Calvin. With a name like Nicholas, I expected simpler. For my Big Brother fans, I do not consider her a celebrity, but we have Christmas, who named her child Loyal. You, ma'am, are not famous enough to treat your child like that. Cut it out. Then we have the iconic Rick Ross, who named his child Billion. Billion Ross. Might as well name your kid after the amount of money you have. And lastly, Iron Man Robert Downey Jr. and his two kids, Exton Elias and Indio Falconer. Celebrity children with unique names because get that bread, name your kid something unique, then leave. Peace out. Returning to the list again, we have Nick Cannon because he is popping them out like gumballs. This man had another daughter and he named her Powerful Queen. Powerful Queen Cannon. That is truly a powerful name. Then we have Gucci Mane's son. Yes, I am also surprised that Gucci Mane has a son. I did not know this. He named his son Ice. Probably after the diamonds on his neck. Rightfully so. Then we have Troy Baker. I do not know this man. He could be walking down the street and I would not know a thing. Sorry to this man. But he named his kid Traveler. Imagine booking a flight and seeing Traveler name Traveler, sir. Returning to the list is Gwyneth Paltrow because we will never forget. Gwen named her daughter Apple. Yes, like the fruit. And lastly, we have Mr. Tesla himself, Elon Musk, who named his son XAEA-12. Wow, love that. Celebrity children with unique names because when life gives you money and fame, you can name your child unique. Leading the pack, we have Miss Big Little Lies, Miss I Got Arrested for Not Obeying a Police Officer, Miss Legally Blonde, Reese Witherspoon. Oh, Reese. Reese does seem like the type of person to name her child after a state or a city. I was thinking like Denver. No, she named her child Tennessee. If she looks at her son and says, "You're the only 10 I see," federal prison. Then we have Michael Jackson, who named his son Blanket. Okay, his actual name was Biggie, but he gave him the nickname Blanket. I mean, hey, at least he didn't hold him out of a window. Or did he? Returning to the list, we have Kanye West and Kim Kardashian because I love a messy divorce. And their daughter, North. Miss Northwest. Northie is adorable, I just will never forgive her parents. Kylie Jenner and Travis Scott naming their child Stormi, like the weather. And lastly, Nicole Kidman and Keith Urban and their daughter, Sunday. I love brunch. Celebrity children with unique names because when you have money, you can name your kid whatever you want. Leading the pack, we have the iconic Miss Nicole Richie. Nicole, you may be good at designing clothing, but naming your kids is another story. Nicole decided to name her son Sparrow Madden. Sparrow like the bird, Madden like the video game. Next up, we have Katy Perry. Oops, I mean Zooey Deschanel. Zooey Deschanel named her daughter Elsie Otter. Yes, otter, the little furry creatures that swim in the water. Elsie's adorable, but when you follow it up with otter, why? Returning to the list, we have Kanye West and Kim Kardashian, who named their son Psalm. I am going to be completely honest, I did not have a single idea that these people were religious or holy, sinners at their finest. So that's why Psalm confuses me. And lastly, for my Walking Dead fans, we have Jeffrey Dean Morgan, who named his kid George. George wouldn't be a problem if it wasn't a girl. His daughter George. Celebrity children with unique names because when you have money, no one cares what your name is. Leading the pack, we have one of my least favorite housewives of all time, Teddy Mellencamp from Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, and her husband Edwin, who named their child Slate. You named your daughter after a metamorphic fucking rock. Then we have Sylvester Stallone, who named his son Sage Moonblood. Sounds like a vampire straight out of Twilight. Unfortunately, he passed away, so no disrespect. R.I.P. Then we have actor Ving Rhames, who named his daughter Rainbow. Not Rainbow, Rainbow. First of all, I feel like this is a missed opportunity. But also, why the fuck? What was the reason? And taking the top spot, rightfully so, is actress Shannon Sossamon, who named her son Audio Science. What? Hey, Audio Science, come here. Celebrity children with unique names because when you have money, your parents can afford therapy. First up, we have Justin Timberlake and Jessica Biel's son, Silas. I truly have no idea how to pronounce it, nor do I care. Silas Timberlake, why not Sean? Next up, we have Jensen Ackles from Supernatural, who named his kid Arrow. Yes, the thing you shoot with a fucking bow. I guess you could say he's not the sharpest tool in the shed. But seriously, what the fuck? Then we have Travis Barker, who named his daughter Alabama. First of all, what is the obsession with naming our kids after states? Second, sir, you are from Fontana, California. Where did we get Alabama from? And lastly, we have a doozy. I nearly fell out of my chair. On the left, we have Frank Zappa, and on the right, his daughter, who he named Diva Thin Muffin. Skinny. There is no way in fucking hell that you can explain that this name has some significant meaning. Celebrity children with unique names because who needs a normal name when you have money? First up, we have singer-songwriter BlackBear, who I did not even know had a child. Writes and sings some great songs, but his child's name is Midnight, like the time of day. I don't get it, there's probably some interesting meaning behind it, but I just don't feel like Googling it. Next up, we have the iconic Hilary Duff. Her child's name could go either way. She named her kid Banks. Don't know how I feel about it. There's a kid out there named Cash, and I love that name. Banks, on the other hand, they steal our money. Next up, we have Lisa Vanderpump and her daughter, Pandora. People were gassing her up for this name. I'm gonna say it without saying it. It's not unique, it's what I used to call this series. Pandora's Box, Pandora the Dead streaming service. Why? And lastly, we have a doozy. This is Irish singer Bob Geldof, and he named his daughter Heavenly Hirani Tiger Lily Hutchins. Bitch, why? Celebrity children with unique names, because when you're famous, you don't just name your kid John. First up, we have WWE superstars Daniel Bryan and Brie Bella, who named their child Buddy Dessert. The only Buddy I'm okay with is Buddy the Elf. And dessert? Were we hungry? Were we craving? I'm not sure. Returning to the list for a second time, we have Australian actress Rachel Griffiths. After naming her son Banjo, she decided that she should name her other child Clementine, like the small orange. Why? Next up, we have Carlos from Big Time Rush and Alexa from Spy Kids, who named their son Ocean King. Do you mean Poseidon, the Greek god, the king of the ocean? Isn't that plagiarism? Then we have British chef Jamie Oliver, who named his son River Rocket Blue Dallas. Yeehaw, I guess. Taking the top spot yet again is Frank Zappa, who named his daughter Moon Unit. Moon Unit, what the fuck? Celebrity children with unique names, because when you have money, you can do whatever you want. First up on the list, we have Mr. Agent Cody Banks, Mr. Malcolm in the Middle, Frankie Muniz. Where has this guy been? Well, surprise, knocking someone up because he just had a baby son. And he named him Mauz Mosley Muniz. If we were going all M's, this is kind of a missed opportunity to name him Malcolm. Also, a fucking mouthful. Next up, we have Bob Geldof, an Irish singer that I know nothing about, but I do know that his daughter's name is Fifi Trixabel. What the fuck? Next up, we have Ashley Tisdale, who also literally just had her baby, but I was rooting for her. We were all rooting for her for a good name. She decided to name her child Jupiter Iris French. That is such a Sharpay Evans move. And returning to the list, we have the woman who was named one of the most hated celebrities by the world, Gwyneth Paltrow. And she named her daughter Apple, like the fruit. Celebrity children with unique names, because when you have money, you can do whatever you want. First up, we have Leah Michelle from Glee, the devil reincarnated. If you know, you know. If you don't, Google is free. Leah Michelle took it upon herself to name her son Ever. Like, that is the most unique name ever. I do not have words for this woman. Next up, we have Mark Ruffalo, the man that I feel like ages a lot or doesn't age at all. Mark Ruffalo had a daughter and named her Bella Noche, which means beautiful night in Italian. Why not just do the normal Italian thing and just name her Bella? Also, if you don't already, make sure to follow me on the gram. I post other shit on there too. The shirt and hair contrast in this picture is not doing him justice. But anyways, Chris Brown had a son and named him Royalty Brown. Now, I don't mind this name because when I was younger, I knew someone named Royal, so that always seemed normal to me, but Royalty? Maybe not. Like and follow for part 21. Celebrity children with unique names, because when you're rich and famous, no one cares what your name is. Starting us off, we have Khloe Kardashian in one of her many looks. Khloe Kardashian named her beautiful daughter above me True. A name revolving around the truth is definitely a unique choice for someone whose man isn't loyal. But go off, she's cute. Then we have Kylie Jenner, and yes, Travis Scott. They named their daughter Stormi. Now, Stormi has definitely become a normal name. The reason I say this one is so unique is because you all made her a meme. This girl is gonna grow up to be Stormi, rise and shine. Like, what the fuck? And lastly, we have Kim Kardashian, just Kardashian now. Now, her kids have some pretty unique names, but this one is Chicago. Chicago, Illinois. Why are we naming our kid after a city? At this point, just name your kids every single direction on a compass. Celebrity children with unique names, because when you have money, no one cares what your name is. Starting us off, we have Patrick Dempsey from Grey's Anatomy. With a name like Patrick, you would think he would name his daughter something normal. But instead, he decided to name her Tallulah Fife. Definitely a beautiful name, but not typical. Which isn't a problem before anybody comes for me, but definitely unique. Next up, we have Pete Wentz from Fall Out Boy. All of his children have very unique names, but one of them has been stuck in my head. And that one is his son, Saint Laszlo. I instantly think of the Cartoon Network show Camp Laszlo, and Saint reminds me of Kim Kardashian's kid. And lastly, we have Evangeline Lilly. I believe she has 2 kids now, but one she has not revealed the name of. But her first son's name is, and sorry if I botched this, Kahakili? I really don't know. It's definitely a tongue twister, and I think if it was pronounced right, it would sound beautiful. Celebrity children with unique names, because when you have money, you can do whatever you want. First up on the list, we have Pete Wentz from Fall Out Boy and Ashley Simpson. These 2 crazy kids named their child Bronx Mowgli. Now, I'd be fine with just Bronx, but Mowgli? You mean the annoying little brat from Jungle Book? What was the thought process here? Next up, we have British chef Jamie Oliver. Now, Jamie Oliver has a lot of kids with bizarre names, but this one takes the cake. He named one of his daughters Daisy Boo Pamela. He could have really done without the Pamela. There was no need at this point. Daisy would have been great, but putting Boo in the middle? No thanks. And lastly, we have Gwen Stefani and Gavin Rossdale. When they were together, they decided to name one of their kids Apollo Bowie Flynn. 3 names is already a mouthful, but this one melted my brain. Celebrity children with unique names, because when you have money, no one cares what your name is. Returning to the list, we have Ashley Simpson and her husband, Evan Ross. They named their second child Jagger Snow. Honestly, it's pretty interesting, but not as puzzling as some of the other ones. It's kind of badass if you think about it. Next up, we have Busy Phillips and her husband, Mark Silverstein. They named their 2 daughters Cricket Pearl and Birdie Lee. Birdie, also known as the object you hit with your racket in a game of badminton, and Cricket, like the annoying bug that won't stop fucking chirping. What was the reasoning? Like, why did we do this to them? And lastly, we have Beyonce and Jay-Z, who, as we all know, named their first daughter Blue Ivy. Now, I love this family to death. I will never bash them. I love the name Blue Ivy. I'm just not sure how we arrived at it. Some say it's because of Jay-Z's album The Blueprint and Beyonce's album 4 or Ivy, but really, naming our kid after our albums?